And happy Wednesday, everyone. My name is meteorologist Heather Kay, and it's time for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, American Law Group, American Contractor Show, Atlas Roofing, and then Dent Pros is our new sponsor. So welcome, guys. Thank you for sponsoring our video. So let's get right into our weather headlines. We did have a few 3-star maps or greater yesterday. One of them was here in Oklahoma. So we will recap both of those in just a moment. And then in terms of the activity today, will DFW get another big hailstorm? So we will talk about chances for DFW as well as the other areas that we'll be watching across the U.S. today. And then as we get into the next few days, the activity is expected to continue. It is basically what we would like to say as the peak time of the year for storm season. So no surprise, the next few days look to be potentially very busy. So here are the storm reports from yesterday, and you can, I don't know if you guys can point out exactly where the majority of the activity happened yesterday. Oh wait, it's up here in parts of Iowa into Wisconsin, and then a few scatter reports elsewhere. So we're going to zoom on into a few of those major areas. The first one is here in Iowa into Wisconsin. This is sponsored by Dent Source, not Dent Pros. I apologize for the name confusion. So again, a lot of activity here. And zooming even more in, unfortunately, there were a few pretty damaging tornadoes and a few fatalities coming in with those as well. But a lot of hail across Iowa into Wisconsin, southwestward into Nebraska, and then southward we had more activity here in Oklahoma, including the Tulsa area, and a few scatter reports in Texas and into Arkansas, and then a few more here up into the northeast. We had a few scatter reports there as well. So we do have 2 maps to look over here. The first one that happened yesterday was a 4-star map that occurred in Oklahoma, just south of Tulsa proper, here in Pulpa, as well as Broken Arrow in Verdigris, Oklahoma. The largest hail was up to 3 inches in diameter. And in terms of quarter-size hail or larger, that impacted almost 98,000 homes. So again, we had the largest storm was, again, from Sapulpa eastward into Broken Arrow, and then we had a few other storms here that produced some severe hail. And then we, again, just not as populated, but we had some more $4.50 size hail swaths further south of Tulsa. And then we also had a 3-star map that occurred in Nebraska, and this one is called Fremont, Omaha, Nebraska. The largest hail was up to 2.5 inches in diameter. And in terms of quarter-size hail, that impacted a little over 41,000 homes. So we did have some storms move through Omaha, and then you can see up to tennis ball size hail move through the Fremont area down to Wahoo. I like that name, Wahoo. Sorry. And then we had another storm south of Plattsmouth, Nebraska as well. And and even another one here in Utica up to just south of David City. So both of those maps are online right now for purchase. If you're a subscriber, you should have access to those maps. So here are our conditions across the country right now. We have a low pressure situated up into our neighbors in Canada, just to the northeast of Minnesota, spinning around here. Cold front draping south into the Great Lakes region. This will spawn some storms later on this afternoon and evening across the northeast. And then we have a low pressure system basically situated right along the Red River Valley, and this could potentially get some nasty storms ongoing. We actually have a few going on right now. We're going to zoom on into this area a bit more. Just to the north of Dallas proper, we have a few severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing for some hail and wind. and some more storms here in southeastern Oklahoma up into parts of Arkansas, and we do have some severe thunderstorm watches out for these areas as well. And then moving off to parts of the Tennessee Valley and into Kentucky, you can see some individual storms trying to fire up here along and ahead of that cold front, and these will continue to push off to the east as we go throughout the day. And then we are expecting even more storms here to develop along and ahead of that cold front from basically Pennsylvania all the way up to Maine. So zooming on now to take a look at our temperatures. It's 85 right now in Fort Wayne. Cool a little behind that cold front in Kansas City where it's only 68. Rain cooled here in Oklahoma City where it's 67. But south of that front, it's starting to get a bit toasty where temperatures are starting to get up into the 80s here in Dallas, nearing 90 in Houston where it's 88 right now, and those 80s are stretching all along the east coast again ahead of that cold front. And then cool in the northwest. We're even seeing some snow in those higher elevations. So here are a few radar frames, again, one particular run of one particular model. So this is basically right now. Some storms are already ongoing. As we go through the rest of this afternoon, we are expected to see some more storms to develop here along the Ryder River, just to the west of Dallas and to the north of San Angelo, and these will continue to develop and push off to the east. You can see that supercellular structure here. So any storms that do develop across this region, it may produce some very large hail, and that does include here in Dallas and Fort Worth. So do those hail dances if you want that large hail here in this particular area. And as we go through the rest of the afternoon, stopping at 5 p.m., you can see more storms here just to the west of Little Rock, still in the Dallas-Fort Worth area down to San Angelo. And I mean, they just keep firing up here as we go through the rest of this evening and into late this evening, stopping in at 8 p.m. Nasty storm here is on this run of this model here along the Ryder River at 8 p.m. More storms into Arkansas. Just looks like if this does, happen, it's going to be quite an active evening here at the Hill Palace. Just more storms here and even potentially ongoing through the overnight hours as well. And then as we get into daybreak, we'll quiet down a little bit, although some storms may still be ongoing near the Missouri-Arkansas border. So moving a little bit off to the east, again, storms are ongoing right now across southeastern Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas, southern Missouri, and those will continue to push off to the east as we go through this afternoon. Memphis, you guys can possibly see some hail out of these as well. Some more robust activity expected to develop. This is at 3 p.m. Central Time. So again, Memphis, Little Rock, again, all the way down to DFW, and then even in parts of, Kentucky. I got to move out of the way here. Nashville, we may see some marginally severe hail there as well. And then the activity will push off to the east as we get through this evening. And yep, just keep on going here. More rounds of storms as we go through the late evening hours and into the early morning hours tomorrow. And yeah, it's going to be quite a busy, I know it's going to be quite a busy evening here. I mean, it is that time of the year. So moving off to the northeast, along the head of that cold front, again, some storms are expected to develop across basically the entire northeast. It should be pretty sporadic though. But you can see some individual cells trying to fire up here. This is at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So Pittsburgh, maybe in the Cleveland area, as that cold front pushes off to the east, we could see some marginally severe hail and some gusty winds with these, and some more development here possible in parts of Pennsylvania, New York, into the Virginias, again down to Kentucky as we get into later on this evening. And then that will push off basically all the way to the East Coast as we get into late tonight and into tomorrow morning. So again, a lot of storms are, possible across the country today. I think across the Northeast it should be pretty sporadic. So in terms of our max hail size today, I think up to baseball size hail is possible with those strongest storms. And we'll take a look in just a second where those strongest storms may be. So here we go. Today's hail forecast, a pretty large area, could possibly see at least quarter size hail. So basically from Texas all the way up to parts of New York, we can see at least quarter size hail. The largest hail though today, no surprise, will be here in Texas. I think a moderate chance for that large hail is possible from Austin to maybe as far east as Shreveport. Dallas, I have you at a high. Hopefully I'm not going to jinx you if you do want some of those storms. So up to baseball size hail is possible here in this purple shaded region. No low end chance here from Tulsa, Springfield, and eastward as we go into Memphis. We have a marginal or a moderate chance to see some large hail there. Lower end chance though in Nashville, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and all the way up northeast into basically Pittsburgh, Syracuse. We can get some quarter size hail there. And then our city of the day, again, no surprise, is DFW, so Dallas-Fort Worth. The timeline for the largest hail will be between about 2 p.m. to around 9, give or take an hour or so, because I know there are some storms that are firing up as we speak. The largest hail will be up to baseball size, and we do have a moderate chance today to see that 1-inch hail or greater. So start doing those hail dances, you guys. So as we get into tomorrow, again, we have another chance for severe weather. So let's take a look at our radars for tomorrow. Some storms may be ongoing here, just some sporadic activity across parts of southern Oklahoma, northern Texas, and parts of Arkansas and Missouri. But as we get into tomorrow, basically late morning into the early afternoon hours, you can see some storms may try to fire up here once again in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then we even have a chance here in Oklahoma City later on in the afternoon. This is stopping at 2:30. Some storms here basically just north of Oklahoma City with this model near Lawton. And then as we get through the rest of the afternoon, you can see more numerous storms are possible as we get that heating of the day and that instability building up. So this is at 6 p.m. and then that all pushes off to the east as we get into later on in the evening. This is at 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, and maybe reaching as far east as Little Rock with those. Wichita, you may get in on the action as well as we get into tomorrow evening and into early Friday morning. And those will push off to the southeast as well. But there are some more areas. So moving off into the northern plains, tomorrow should be pretty quiet to start. But then as we get into later on in the afternoon, you can see some storms trying to fire up here with this model in southeastern Montana. And then we'll start to spread into the Dakotas and down into Nebraska as we get into later on in the evening tomorrow. You can see those individual cells here just east of Bismarck potentially, and then some more activity as you move southward into Nebraska, and even some individual cells here in the Omaha area. So we'll be watching you guys as well tomorrow afternoon and evening. And those will continue to push off to the east as we get into late Thursday and into early Friday morning. Omaha, we could see some hail as well as some gusty winds with these, as you can see that linear structure here with this particular model. And again, those will push eastward as we begin our Friday morning. And then, oh wait, there's more. With that cold front that will continue to push off to the east tomorrow, we will see some sporadic activity tomorrow across the northeast. So again, nothing too crazy is expected, but again, that chance is there to see up to quarter size hail from basically Kentucky all the way up to Maine. And this is stopping it now at 7 tomorrow evening Eastern time. You can see those individual cells here trying to fire up. Hail will be possible with those, and it will continue to move eastward as we go into tomorrow and into Friday morning. So, if you're in the Northeast, just keep an eye on the sky, not just today, but tomorrow as well. So here's tomorrow's hail forecast, a pretty large area. So basically from the Dakotas all the way down to northern and central Texas and eastward along the head of that cold front here, we could see some $4.50 size hail as well. So let's break it on down. The largest area, or the best chance to see that large hail tomorrow, I should say, will once again be from Dallas up to Oklahoma to Wichita. Up to 2.5 inch hail is possible here, with the strongest storms that do develop. Moderate chance to see up to golf ball size hail in Fayetteville, Little Rock, and even as far north as Omaha, and then a low end chance here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And then once again along the head of that cold front tomorrow, we can see a low end chance to see some $0.25 to $0.50 size hail from Nashville, Charlotte, Richmond, all the way up to Boston and southeastern Maine. But that's not all, you guys. So we are in that time of the year where we're basically at peak season. So there are more areas that we'll be watching after today and tomorrow. So here's our jet stream. We do have a bit of a disturbance here in the southern plains, south of that main trough area. So as we get into the rest of today, you can see this trough starting to dig a bit to the south and to the east, and so there are a few little disturbances here in the main flow that could spark some severe weather as we get into today and into tomorrow. And then as we get into Friday, that main area of that main shortwave will stay to the north, but you can see again still some areas of disturbance here in the southern plains for our Friday. And then as we get into Saturday, that trough really starts to dig now in the western part of the U.S. So we'll once again be watching here in the southern plains ahead of this main system for severe weather for our Saturday. And then we'll push off to the east a bit as we get into our Sunday, and then possibly into the northeast as we get into our Monday. So here we go for Friday through Sunday. Friday is basically eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, all the way up to maybe Chicago. And then as we get into our Saturday, the area that we'll be watching will shift right back to here in the central and southern plains. So Wichita, Oklahoma City, maybe as far south as Dallas, Fort Worth, eastward to St. Louis. We'll be watching this area for our Saturday. And then as we get into Sunday, that area of storm potential will shift off to the east a bit to include Memphis and once again St. Louis, eastward to Cincinnati and parts of Kentucky and Tennessee as well. So we're still a few days out from all of this, so we will fine-tune all of the details as we get closer to Friday through Sunday. But basically that's all I have for you now. I know it's going to be potentially very busy over the next few days, so make sure that you follow us on X, Twitter, whatever the heck you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube page, as well as our TikTok. See first on Facebook so you don't miss any of our live videos. If you would like to get set up with a demo, you can scan that QR code above and we can get you all set up with that so you can learn more about our products. And then if you have any questions or concerns, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com and check out our website at www.hailtrace.com. And I am meteorologist Heather Kay. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday.